You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Final segment, we're in overdrive. Sorry to the other callers, we're just out of time. Joe, I've been ranting here. I want you to be able to make other points about this. I mean, we've got all the mainstream news articles, Jane's Weapons Quarterly, Washington Times, Forbes, Newsweek, Russia threatens nuclear attacks. I mean, this is all going on here. The Russians are saying, and I don't just believe Newsweek, whenever the West started a war with Russia in Georgia in 2008, they rolled nukes in with these medium-range and short-range launchers and said, we're going to start nuking you. Yeah. And the NATO troops got back on their airplanes and left. What is NATO playing with here? And then let's get into these reports of the wreckage they found of the missile that may have carried the weapon.
Well, it seems like they're ramping the American people up to get ready back, to get that war face on. You see the American Sniper movies coming out. You see the American public getting back into that. Yeah, you know, we're ready to fight. We're America. We can do anything. You know, but for the past few years, the way everyone looks at it, even Americans are looking at these wars as garbage. Iraq was a waste of time. Afghanistan a waste of time. All of this stuff. So a lot of people have been on the you know, the down. But now we have all these new movies coming out. The TV shows are talking about war. Everyone's talking about it.
It's always about Russia.
Yeah, and you start seeing everybody like, I am an American. Oh yeah. And everyone's all pumped up, and all these books are coming out from Navy SEALs and things like that. It seems like they're trying to use this propaganda to get the American public back in the mind.
And in books, video games, movies, House of Cards, it's all Russia.
Yep.
The whole new House of Cards is about Russia.
The video games.
China's our buddy in House of Cards, but Russia, they're bad.
Yeah. It seems like they're trying to ramp up the American people to get them behind what's going to be coming up. And now we see all this stuff starting to happen over there as well.
Well, what frustrates me, Joe, is that Russia is actually fighting radical Islam. And the West is going to use that against them as well. I mean, the whole world's really ganged up on Russia.
Yeah.
And I even run into people I know who know and listen to the show, and they go, yeah, but the Russians are bad. Let's kick their butt. It's like this mindlessness. I'm sorry. I mean, our own military got chewed up trying to hold down the countries you were in. Can you imagine, even if Russia is in trouble, trying to mess with a country that has all these special forces and all these spies and all these weapons and special teams to poison people? And I mean, I think Washington's biting off more than they can chew here.
Yeah, and I don't think Putin's someone that's going to be willing to back down from using something like that to use.
Well, they're going to turn loose their spies, too.
Yeah.
It's going to get really bad, Joe.
Well, hopefully not. I hope the people don't buy into this junk that's being fed into the mainstream media every day. You know, how they're coming out saying, you know, if you don't back all this stuff, that you're not American. You know, we need to take a step back and look at what's really going on. And nuclear war, it's not just going to affect that area. It's going to affect the entire planet. People need to get off their high horse and, you know.
Well, that's what we've got to check is local radiation meters at local colleges. If they're suddenly not reporting as of yesterday,
yeah,
that means that they've shut it down. And we've caught them doing this before when there's been leaks at power plants. We'll get a report, then suddenly the meters around it won't be reading. It'll say inoperable. We need to check into that, Joe. And we need to talk to some of our sources in Europe and some of the agencies that are private that monitor radiation and see if isotopes associated with atomic weapons, because that's what these frogs are usually, atomic. Most tacticals are not hydrogen. We need to look into this and see if we have the isotopes from Russian or NATO atomics.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree. Well, earlier today, too, DNR News is the Donetsk People's Republic. They came out saying that they indeed found the shellings. They found evidence of the rounds that were being used, but they weren't able to get to it until today. Yesterday, they said that chemical plant area was continuously hit.
And that's a pro-Russian group, isn't it?
Yes. So they're saying they think
So they're saying it's the Ukrainians doing it.
Yes. So they think that they were trying to continuously hit that chemical area to destroy any evidence of what the rounds that were being used. And like I said, it's what's called the OTR-21 Tochka, which is a Scarab missile, and the warhead can shoot off a chemical or 100 kiloton nuclear warhead, EMP or fragmentation filling. But that's what they are finding out there now as of today, or tonight, I should say.
Well, we're just get everybody on this. Let's dig into it. trying to find out exactly what's happening. It may be a chemical explosion. It just looks really suspicious.
It's just weird, though. You'd think, though, they said there was a weapons cache in that area.
Hold on, let's go even further into overdrive. I want you to be able to finish.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Hi, folks. Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his two-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage, or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
And we are back live, going into the 4th hour live here. Joe Biggs is sitting next to me. And of course, Joe, I've seen you in some of the Rolling Stone articles and Esquire articles and stuff when they had embeds with you. Army Times, you name it. You loading and preparing the big warheads, the big shells.
155 HE.
The 155 HE. We probably Google Joe Biggs artillery and actually pull up those photos. So you know artillery. We were just talking during the break. Look, the Russians say they'll use tactical nuclear weapons. It looks like one. You see this orange, white, hot wave go out, and then you see the explosion in a mushroom cloud. When I've seen atomics shut off, that's what it sends out. I mean, I've just never seen an explosion where it's only one wave of the explosion and its energy. It looks like it's atomic in nature. I mean, maybe it's something else. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's just keep playing that. Joe, you said you've never seen any artillery like that or any explosion that comes close to that?
I've fired 119ers, 198s, M777 Alpha 2 howitzers, you know, all kinds of different rounds, Excalibur rounds, which is a rocket-propelled, GPS-assisted projectile. You know, I fired so many different artillery rounds. I've never seen an explosion like that. That seems like that was something that was detonated from that spot. Because you would think from an artillery round hitting like that, it would hit and then send off fragments, and then it would be multiple explosions. This is more centralized in one area, and it's one perfect explosion from that area That's why it doesn't resemble anything like I've ever seen in artillery on a target.
And when you watch atomic bombs go off, in fact, Jacobson's got a bunch of them on tape because I was putting them in a film. Some of the first atomic tests, when the film footage is up close, it first flashes, and then you see the radiation go out like a bubble or a force field, and then the mushroom cloud comes out of that.
Yeah.
That's what you see in this footage. It's not like it's a gas plant or a chemical plant, and it blows up and it's like a big orange, thick, black, red explosion. It's bzz, bzz, it looks atomic. That's, I'm telling you, it's suspicious.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we have to question it. That's why we have to do the digging here, because like you said, mainstream media isn't really paying attention to this. Everyone's more obsessed with the Grammys and what new show is going to come out and Better Call Saul and all these different programs that are out.
If it was atomic by the Russians or by Ukraine, it's meant to send a message. Obviously, they know mainstream won't be told about it. What do you think the message is if indeed it was a tactical weapon, and who would use it?
Well, to say, hey, we're not afraid to use them, obviously, but it's just, like you said, with
that's how you would use it first, was kind of in the middle of nowhere or on a strategic location, just to say, hey.
Well, that's why a tactical nuke, that's the purpose of one, so there's not all that huge collateral damage, to show you the awesome power of what it is, so people can go like, oh my God, this is mind-blowing, but it doesn't send all that damage. It's a warning.
Let's watch that footage one more time. If you're a radio listener, it's on Infowars.com. It's in Joe Biggs' video. Give folks the title of your video.
The title of the video was, did a nuclear weapon go off, or was a nuke used in Ukraine? It's around 300,000 views right now in the past day and a half.
Now let's watch this shockwave. How many miles is that away?
15 miles from what I was told. How quickly it got to him.
Listen to it breaking everything like this. Let's show this again. Let's back it up again one more time.
Oh,
man, that looks like an atomic bomb.
I know.
I mean, you see how there's that pattern first? That I've only seen that with atomics. Very suspicious.
Yeah, it's something we'll definitely be looking into for...
Have you sent this out to any of your Army buddies that were in the nuke corps? We need to get this looked at by experts.
I haven't thought about that. Yeah, I can definitely do that. I put it out on Facebook, and I've had a lot of my military buddies, comment back saying that definitely looks like a nuke to them. But I'll definitely look into some of my NBC guys, nuclear, biological, chemical guys who are in that MOS.
Well, I know Jacobson's back there, and he's the one that's got all these nuke clips we even sent off to the government to get from their archives years ago. And, I mean, we've got a bunch of them where they detonate them, and it's exactly the same deal. It's like a red force field.
Yeah.
In fact, Dew knows what I'm talking about. I call it the force field nukes because we use it on TV all the time. I mean, it looks just like that, Joe.
I mean, it's just, like you said, bubbled out.
That's a uranium bomb with a plutonium bullet. Because I've studied it so much, that's what they look like a low yield, where it doesn't get the full fission, where it doesn't fully detonate. Because with these small ones, they just can't get them to fully detonate. I mean, it doesn't, achieve maximum explosion for the amount of radioactive stuff they've got. Because, I mean, I guess the larger hydrogen bombs and then of course they've got all the different ones like the systems that are used to just put out radiation, neutron bombs, which they supposedly killed in '79. That's not true. They've got a huge program of neutron bombs just here in the U.S. alone. But the more high-tech, high-yield, it was a bunch of jacketed, perfectly cut.
Hey, Alex, sorry to cut in, but we're showing footage right now of the crater. This is from Rob Dew.
Okay, and is that from Ukrainian or Russian news? Looks like Ukrainian.
I don't know. We don't know how to read it.
Well, that is a big crater.
I mean, there seems to just be this huge blackout in media coverage of what's going on over there. For a while we heard there was only 5,000 casualties. Now they're saying 50,000 of what's going on. No one's really talking about this, and it's being just swept under the rug here in America.
That is a giant crater.
Yeah. There's no artillery round that's going to be doing that.
And all the trees are, but I mean, where's the plant? I mean, that looks like what you see when a A-bomb's gone off, see?
Yeah.
Well, what chemical